We was discussing horsepower, and he thinks it's going to hold up unless I drive it.
Just because our ancestors came across the plains on a wagon, we don't have to still drive a wagon.
I get a phone call from my Aunt Shanna. Where are you at? I'm home cooking dinner. Well, get up to your dad's. I was like, okay. When she says come up, I come up. If you remember Aunt Shanna, we build her sign for her.
They do a lot for me. They do a lot for me.
This is my womb, mate.
Yeah, he does a lot for me.
These two are
and
inseparable.
Doesn't charge me for it, so.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this. Why would you buy riding lawnmowers?
I didn't buy them. I traded him out of them. We worked all week for these, and these are fast. He says they're fast. This one doesn't have a motor, but that looks like a fast motor.
15 and a half for that one. And this is his old trusty. This is Bud.
This is one of his friends. This was his. This is his wife's. These were his friends, but they're too old. This Bud has Parkinson's.
How fast is this one?
He says they're all fast. He says
that one looks fast.
He says they're dangerous fast. He said this one's faster. That one has better steering. So that's the one I keep. The one with the better steering.
That one's got good.
Yeah.
They all have good brakes.
They have top of the line everything.
How fast do they go?
He said this one goes 65.
Gosh dang. Kevin, you're going down.
Yeah. That's
Aunt
exactly
Shanna
what I thought
smoked
of.
you.
That's exactly what I thought of. You ain't seen nothing, Kevin.
So what are we doing with these? Are we just going to drive them around town
We're
now?
gonna get them all together and race them, and you're gonna put that motor in that one. So
she's giving orders.
So well, you got to, because I ain't gonna do it. We paint for a living. We don't do this.
We're
gonna get all of these running.
I
and
had a
we're gonna
feeling
do
you
some
did
racing
this
and
when you sent me that picture last night.
That's not bad. Like, you could. That's quick. Race. This feels 1,000 times better than ours. I'm just saying.
Go big or go home, right?
Like I just watched Dude Perfect went and raced these. I think they was in Texas.
So they went and raced somebody else's.
Yeah, they just went to a track and you could just random and race them. They wrecked a couple. So I was thinking ahead, like with my boys, Aunt Shanna beat me to the punchline.
You don't have to build them now.
So they run on ethanol?
No, they don't, but he says they're so high powered and so built just for this. Is what they did in California.
Okay.
That you want to start them with starting fluid. He said you don't want to start them. He says they've been sitting long enough. You probably want to change the oil and the gas in them.
I just wanted to hear it crank over.
Yeah,
he said, I know these are high compression and they just sound good.
He said it sounds like a Harley.
Yeah, they sound good.
Because this is a V-twin.
Case, the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of John Deere guys out there, but Case is pretty good.
It even has crash for an extra, just in case you crash.
For wind.
You know what this is? This is the same yard machine front end and hood and fenders that our first racer we built has.
Yeah.
These are extra parts, extra wheels.
Oh my gosh.
He's got everything in here, and he's got it all labeled for what it is. He donated flags for the course.
Yellow car. That's a big carburetor.
So
Serious.
I guess what we have to do is we have to hide these till next year, right? We have to get them running and just hide them.
Yes.
So what? So I was talking to Bishop Ed, and there's a track in Mesquite that his brother goes and watches. And so I was going to get us together and go watch the races. It's these exact things.
Maybe we'll go
Now we'll
race.
see if we
Maybe
can
get
just take
together
them.
and go down.
And we'll head down to Mesquite and go with a couple of laps.
Yes.
I love that you're just a race car queen now.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been so excited. We don't want these to get wrecked. And they, like you said, he's kept them inside. They haven't been kept outside. They've taken really good care of them.
So maybe we better hit this local company up that has some storage units. We'll just
Yeah.
rent a storage unit,
Yeah.
put these in.
I think
we the
we should.
people, I believe,
Yeah.
if you're into storage units, they are going to hook us up.
Do you know who owns that?
You sleep with them at night, man. Well, we'll go put these in a unit.
Yeah, we'll
And
let
then-
you guys know in the future what's coming up.
Yeah.
We're just coming to unload these mowers right here. We the people, self-storage 691 3014. If you're in southern Utah and need a storage unit, give her a call. All right, guys, so the lawnmower thing is kind of a surprise, but a very good surprise. We'll probably get these things running and go try them on a real track, try to have some fun. It'd be kind of sweet to see my dad and Aunt Shanna crash those things, just saying. Not me, maybe them. And the rest of this video, we're gonna jump to my dad's Sandrail. He's been just slowly picking at this thing for years, ever since we went to Glamis a couple years ago. He's got a lot done. The front suspension's done, the back's pretty well together, and it's to wiring, ECU, make this thing run. Plug it in, make it run, a little HP tuners. And he's recorded a little bit along the way. It's been months apart, little bits here and there. So it's gonna be a little jumpy, but we'll show you the transformation of his Sandrail and all the work he's put into it, because he has put a ton of time into this thing, thought it through, done it right, just the way he wanted. And so let's go check it out, because we will actually film a real video on it when he gets it running, when he plugs it in, when we hear it run, when we can go do some tuning, some trial and error, see what he likes, and then tear it clear apart and powder coat it and make it look pretty. So enjoy the last little bit of this video, because it's gonna be my dad building his Sandrail. So let's see where he's got it to.
Pull this back in the shop this afternoon. I think it's time to do a makeover. It worked really good at Glamis. But it's not exactly what I want. I want that big heavy transaxle. I want this front end gone. I want an A-arm front end. I want rack and pinion steering. The motor gone. Got this Honda motor. Got my adapter to adapt it to a transaxle. I got these Fox shocks. Getting rid of the torsion bars. I think it's time. And I can enjoy it this summer. We'll see. It's happening. Motor's out. Transmission's out. Take the battery out, the seats, because a lot of this frame is getting cut off. Got the trailing arms mounted. They look pretty good. Just made a plate to go over that. I just got to bolt those in. Then I cut a notch in it right there, and it'll swivel right there. It's going to work great, though. Dune buggy is looking good. Rear suspension is done. Shocks are on. They're all tied up. Tied down there. Got suspension. So the wind stopped blowing, and so I'm gonna burn a little cotton. That stuff is so crazy when you burn it. That's pretty cool. You just got to be careful. You burn your whole place down. That right there. Yeah, it'll probably burn the whole place down. We'll get these easy pieces off here. There it comes. I'll stop it right there. There we go. She's in. I can almost hear it running. I just got to cut a pipe off. I got to move this because it's going to hit the throttle body. Shocks need a little more gas. The one on that side has more than this one. This one's a little low. They need about another 100 pounds in them. Got my header all done, the exhaust on. Yeah, that's going to be just right. Brakes are done. Shocks are on. Tires go up and down.
Yeah.
We just got to have David right on top to make it bounce.
Oh, I think it's going to be this.
I think it's going to ride great. Well, I decided to come down the shop today for a little while, but I decided I'm going to build me a new exhaust manifold and make this fit. This is cheap horsepower. So I decided I'm going to just cut this off and change just about everything about it, because I don't like the way it's going to work with the turbo. All right, I got my manifold made for my turbo. And that's kind of what I envisioned. Right there. It's hotter than Hades.
It'll cool off.
I don't know how hot Hades is, but it'll go just like that. and the turbo will bolt right on it. And I got my fuel tank cut down. It's going in. Cut 3 inches out of that. There's my turbo. So it'll all be on in a minute. Okay, well, I got me a new piece of angle iron. Now I've just got to replicate that. That shouldn't be too hard. Battery box is all done. I just got to drill a hole for the battery tie down, and then it's good to go. That works better with a short bit. All right, let's see if it fits. Yeah, it's gonna go right there, just like that. And then I'll put a little brace up off the bottom to hold it, and that looks like the spot for it. Swing arm will just miss it. The only thing that'll be kind of hard to do is get that bolt out of the swing arm if I ever have to pull it off. So I may want to just cut a little notch in the battery box before I put it in there. I think I will. I think that's a great idea. I haven't been filming a lot, but I've been doing a lot. Turbo's on. Tank's welded. Tank's mounted. Battery box in. I'm going to pull the radiator out, which is super simple to do. Just like that. I've got to cut this neck off right here and straighten it. It's got to go straight instead of an angle. And then I can mount the radiator in permanent. The turbo's there, so now I've got to run a line from here up and over the motor to the intake. And then I've got to put an air filter on it. I've got a little canister air filter I'm going to use. And then I got to figure out which one of these lines. I believe that one's oil. I think I can tee into that and run an oil line to there to oil the turbo. And then I got to come out of the bottom of the turbo with a line that goes over and right down into the side of the oil pan. But I do want to make some kind of a muffler to go over this where the exhaust comes out. Otherwise it'll be a fire breathing dragon. Okay, well, the air cleaner side is all done, the intake and the air filter to the turbo. Now I'm working on the exhaust side, and I've got this piece made. My flanges showed up today, and this will clamp on right there, and then the muffler will weld to it, and then I'll put a hanger on the muffler to help hang it. I've got this piece welded. I'm just going to clean the inside of it out a little bit. Then I'm going to weld the muffler to it. Okay, well, the muffler is on. I had kind of a hiccup with the clamp. The dang bolt twisted off. I snugged it on and tried to take it off to move it a little, and it twisted the bolt off. So I had another clamp. I put it on. We'll see how it holds up. Anyway, now I just got to plumb the intake to the throttle body, and then I got to hook some oil lines up. I've cut the back off. I have these Weldon 90s, and I liked them because they're nice and tight. They're a little bit big, but you know what? They're going to work, because I decided it was easier to cut these out because it had a lot of stuff that I cut off, and I didn't want to have to clean that up. So I just cut those out right there. But now I'm cutting these off of here, and they're going to go, this one's off of this side, so it'll go right there and be part of my bumper. Okay, the back piece is in. The tail lights go right here. I use that same piece. I'm going to cut these a little better, and then I'm going to run pieces down under the motor. Check these things out. These are off of Harley Davidson, or they go to Harley Davidson. They have a tail light and a brake light or signal light, and they just bolt right there, and they look so cool. Yeah, it's all about the bling. I'm committed now. I'm going. I started putting the wires on. There's a couple of wires that I'm not really sure where they plug. I may have to Google this. I may have to call my buddy that moved to Missouri that was supposed to help me. Anyway, these Fox shocks, they're going away. I got some just different Fox shocks that are kind of like Ori's that I'm putting on the back and on the front. Because this front end, it's going to get cut off right there. It's getting a new pipe. All of this is going away. The front end's going away. I'm so over Volkswagen stuff because they just don't ride good. They just beat you to death. And just because our ancestors came across the plains on a wagon, we don't have to still drive a wagon. So I'm going to make a smooth rider out of this. Just like that, there's the front end out. I'm saying out with the old, about ready to embrace the new. Now I got to just get my cutting wheel, and this whole front is coming off. All right, this thing's almost to hit the ground. Okay. Did I ruin it? Whew. I don't think so. I think it's going to be better. Yeah, I think it's going to be better. Right on. I like it. Well, this is actually starting to look like something now. This is where my swing arms are going to swivel off of. Both sides are nice and straight. And now I'm to that point. I've either got to weld all this together or go swing arms. I'm thinking swing arms. That's all my A-arm bushings. And we're going to be sweet. And the A-arm will weld off of that. And then I got to do a little work to these things. I'm going to weld that up. And maybe that side too a little bit. I don't know. But I got to drill them out where these heims will fit them. These are the little bushings that go into the heims. And so they'll set on there just like that. So it'll get a bolt that size. There and there. Spindles are all ready. I actually welded these holes up and then re-drilled them. So a 9/16 bolt fits in them. They're gonna go right here. Just like that. I just need more time in the day. Keep running out of hours. So I got all the tablets made. Now I'm getting ready to weld them on. I'll use the flat to hold it flat right there. And I'll just weld them on. And they'll be right where I want them. Okay, those are all welded. And I got my A-arms cut. The front ones are going to go straight out like that. And then this one will taper into that. Because I want the tire forward about as far as I can get it. That way this thing won't wheelie over backwards. I think it's going to be a wheelier. Anyway, I'm going to notch those. And then I'm going to tack weld them on right there. Okay, there's one side. Look at that. That's going to do exactly what I want it to do. But it may be just a little bit wide. So I'm going to go ahead and tack the other side on. And then I'm going to measure it and see what I got. If it's too wide, I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Well, what do you think of that? That should work. That looks really good. I like it. Trying to figure out the steering now on it. That razor steering is going to be perfect. It's going to line right up. I had this in here. This one in there like that. But it's not going to work like that. So what I got to do is I got to cut these off and I got to come down and across and then back up. Okay, well, I've been at it for a little bit. Get some more done. I got that piece fixed. I got my steering all done. Ended up lengthening these rods out, but now it turns good. Got my shock mounts on. They're all tacked in place. Down here on the A-arms. Now I'm pulling this out. I'm pulling all this stuff off. I'm going to replace that. And then I want to hook the steering up from the rack, clear up to the steering wheel. And then I'm going to put the master cylinder on so I can figure out about exactly where it needs to be. So I'm not guessing. Well, I've been working at this for a little while today, but we're done. We got steering. Set in the cart, see how it feels. Oh, perfect. Right on. Everything's gonna clear. It'll be perfect. So this is what I'm working on tonight. I really like these spindle wheels, but they take the old style bearings. So I'm building a bushing to go in here to receive the bearing. And then I'm gonna run them backwards because the seal and the bearing almost fit perfectly in that. I gotta make a real thin shim for the bearing, but the seal fits perfect, so I'll run them backwards. And then I'll end up machining a cap for this with an O-ring on it. Just plug it in. You can probably buy this stuff. I have no idea. But I like using my lathe, so I'm gonna make it. Well, I think I'm done for the night. This is what I've got. Cross brace in, master cylinders in, hooked up. Even got brakes. Steering's all done. I built this. This has bearings in it. And I found bearings that pressed over this and pressed in there. And then I just tack welded them in. Welded a piece angle on it, so that's nice and stiff. A-arms are done. Working on the wheel bushings right now. This right here is getting cut off right there and right there, and then I'm going to bend it out further so the seats can come apart a little, so it's easier to get the seat covers on. And then I'm going to come off of this and come right up through here with a brace, and then I've got to come off of here on both sides and go down and under and tie it in right up there where that big bolt is. And then I'll put a skid plate on it to protect the motor. And then it gets a bracket down off of here that'll bolt in there to hold the motor mount up. That's the rear motor mount. One wheel's done. The other one's half done. I just got to make one more bushing.
So can you show me or tell me what you're welding here?
I can show you on this other one.
Look at all this suspension stuff. That's a high flyer right there.
I just want a smooth rider. So what I'm doing is this had a kingpin front end in it. I don't know if you've ever rode in a Volkswagen, but they will beat the tar out of you. So I decided I was gonna make an A-arm front end with nitrogen shocks. So I took a ball joint knuckle off a Volkswagen, welded the hole up, turned it out, and now I got this.
That's cool.
But I want to keep my same spoked wheels, and the bearings are different.
So that's just an adapter.
So I bought a bearing kit that fits these, and I'm making this adapter
there you go.
to fit the wheels. And then the bearing will press in and the seal will press in. I had to weld it to make a stopper for the bearing so the bearing stops against it.
Gotcha.
And then I just turned the
So
inside
you
of
can
it.
tighten it, otherwise it'd just push it.
It'd push it right through it.
And then you'll weld that to the rim.
This is going to get welded right in the rim, right in the hub.
That's cool.
Yeah. You can probably buy this stuff, but I like running the lathe. So I just make stuff. That's the way it is.
It's gonna work good. The steering is slick on this whole girl. Whoop. God, that's smooth. It's tight.
It actually turns less than the Volkswagen.
Does it? It's a quicker turn.
The Volkswagen is a turn and a half from stopper to stopper, and this is a turn and a quarter.
Oh, sweet. Even better.
So it's going to work great.
Little days here and there. It's hard to video, but a lot of progress being made.
Yeah. I'm about probably a day away on the frame, and then Mitch is going to help me. You guys remember Mitch? We worked on his Nova. He's going to help me sort all the wires out. We're going to get this thing firing.
Computers and batteries and running.
Yep, be on the road.
Oh, that's going to be sweet. We might have to go back to Glamis. That was such a fun drive.
I just want to go with the Coral Pinks. I don't want to drive
Right here
out
at home.
Glamis.
The sand dunes are a good time.
They're definitely fun.
Almost done. How's it looking?
Okay,
You have
one more.
clear gutted it. A-arm, steering off. Woo, that got me. Full welded. This is going to be a fun car.
It's going to be pretty nice, I think. I hope.
Paul was just here and we was discussing horsepower. And he thinks it's going to hold up unless I drive it. My dad's like, it'll be just fine unless I let Sean drive it. Clutch, maybe
I would
axles.
imagine Sean will probably drive it.
I guess we'll know here shortly. So are you painting it before you go back together?
No,
Put it together.
I'm going to drive it and make sure everything's the way I want it. Change what I don't like, and then I'll tear it apart and powder coat it.
And then do the whole thing.
Do the whole thing.
What color? Stay blue?
Nope, I want to do orange.
Orange. Orange is sweet.
I like orange.
Chevy orange?
Yep.
I love it. That's a good choice. White wheels?
Yeah. I don't know if I can powder coat those. I probably could, I guess. They'd hold up better.
Take the bearings out. You could, right?
Yeah. But that's what I want to do. It's orange and white.
And then we can take two and start on the other rail.
Then we can do the
Right.
rail I did when I was 14.
Yeah.
Do it again.
That I stole from you. Do it again.
Just like that, front end is done. Wheels are on, all welded. Turned out pretty sweet. I think it'll work. Thanks for watching. On the next part of this build, you'll see me putting the skid plate on and making this thing run. So that should be worth tuning into. Thanks again.